Hey guys, what's up? This is Kiarsha, and I come to you guys, I guess, with like a rant or just some real talk. But my quote for you guys today is, "We must emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our own minds." And that's from the late great Marcus Garvey. Now, back to the topic in hand. I would like to address what's been going on in the natural hair community. It has been a lot of discrimination, a lot of backlash, a lot of negativity going on within the community. Not from everybody, but a majority. And I say that because, you know, first of all, it's some type of divide. It's a divide because it's natural hair versus relaxed hair. Then, not only that, it's starting to become, okay, natural hair, but what's your hair type? Okay, if you're this hair type, you should be in this group. This hair type, we don't celebrate them. And, you know, we're better than them, or they think they're better than us. So we're going to have our own community. We're going to have our own group. All of this stereotype and all of this, you know, division, dividing one another and belittling the next person. We will not, and we can never conquer. We can never rise above the chains that not only have been put upon us, but the chains we have inside of our minds, because we're still enslaved. That's why I say emancipate yourselves. Why does it matter who was natural first? I hear some women say, I was natural before it was the end thing to do, before the revolution started. But I never knew that it was a competition to go natural. I never knew that it would be so, you know, I never thought that these women would be so catty, first of all. Does it matter? To each his own. Whatever the woman wants to rock, that's what she wants to rock. But that's my sister regardless. And I don't think I'm better than anybody. But it's getting to the point where if you're this hair texture, if your fro is this bigger, you feel like you're superior than the next person. Humble yourselves, because first of all, hair or vanity, that should not be important. We should not be worried about issues and topics like that. That should be the least of our concern, because it's people out here that have no hair, and you shouldn't discriminate on perm, relax, kinks, curls, bald, straight, flat iron, or none of that. It should be irrelevant. You know, it's sad that you try to do something good for the women that are, you know, modest and honest and really doing it to inform other women on how to take care of their hair, versus the women that are trying to, you know, talk down and belittle another woman that may have just decided to cut her hair, or a woman that has perm hair. It shouldn't matter, and so many people get so offended by certain terms. But just as well as some people don't like to say nappy or kinks. Oh, it's brainwashed and all of this. It's brainwashed when you talk like that, when you speak like that. But at the same time, it's still prejudice. It's still hate, because you're still knocking your sister down because her hair is not natural, because she chooses to wear a perm. Doesn't matter. So I say all of that to say this. It is bigger. There are bigger issues in this world that we should be coming together about. It's bigger things that we should be doing, and a whole lot more than making issues all the time about this hair and this segregation and this hate. And it all stems back to self. Are you loving yourself? I mean, what's good for you? You know, what's good for you may not be good for the other queen. But that doesn't mean that you're better than her. So many people are getting full of themselves over hair. I never knew for hair to be that serious, because hair doesn't define me. I am not my hair. Like India Reese said, I am not my hair. Your hair shouldn't define you. It doesn't make you conscious because you're natural. It doesn't make you better than or less than. And it doesn't take away your womanhood. It doesn't take away your queendom. And it doesn't make you less of a queen because you have permed hair. We need to get our priorities together. We need to get our mind right. Break these chains of mental slavery, because we can't continue to blame the other races for our own misguided interpretations and foolish and ignorance that we put on one another, that we place upon ourselves. Because you don't see other races and other women dividing themselves over hair. But it's the black community, our community. We are all one and the same. And that goes for any skin color. We are all one and the same. We all come from the Most High. We should all function as one living, breathing organism. I don't care what your hair look like, because I love you and you still my sister. And to the women watching this, and even if you don't, it might not get a lot of views. I wouldn't care. But to the 1 or 2 people that are watching this, I hope you get where I'm coming from, because this is coming from my heart. And I had to share it because it's sad that we're still living in a society where hair and breasts and fake asses and all of this stuff is still very important to us, when it's other things that we should be accomplishing, other things that we should be doing, other things that we should be discussing, versus these little things like this, small things to a giant. Because I would never, ever, I don't care if my fro was this big, I don't care if my locks were down to my knees, I'm not better than my other sister that has a TWA. Some people like short hair, some people like long, but it goes back to each his own. Do not separate because of hair texture, hair patterns, and all of that stuff. That should be irrelevant. It shouldn't matter. Just embrace your kinks. Embrace who you are. And stop dividing. We have to conquer. We have to rise above the hate, the self-hate. We have to break these chains of mental slavery. And it starts from self. Everything starts from self. Be positive and live in a positive light. Inspire others. Let's stop being so catty and messy and nasty towards one another. We have to rise above all of that discrimination. We have to rise above everything that they said we can't rise above, because they're still laughing. At the end of the day, they're still laughing at us because we're still making something out of nothing. We're making hair. So it's more things going on in this world. All of this chaos in this world, and our youth seeing us still dividing and being catty, and they're looking up to us. How can they look up to us natural hair women if we're dividing, being negative and nasty towards one another? You're not leading by example. The only thing that you're doing is trying to get likes, trying to get attention, feeling that you're more superior than the next. We have to rise above that, and we have to love one another, and we have to accept each other for who we are and for who they are. We have to accept that person for who they are and not for who we want them to be. Love your sister, because we either say things to people to either help them or to hurt them. So when you say, oh, I've been natural for 10 years and I was natural before this, why? What are you getting? What are you trying to give off? What are you trying to tell that person? Watch what you say and how you say it, because not only are other women watching and getting inspired by a lot of you, because I've been inspired by a lot of you, but it's our youth. Our youth, they're watching. They're watching everything we do, everything we say, how we carry ourselves. And we want to be productive, and we want to be in a positive light. And it's sad, and it saddens me that something that's supposed to have been so good turned out to be this big negative segregation, all of that. Still being confined in little bitty boxes. Still, I'm just rambling. I'm just ranting. And I'm doing this all from my iPhone. But I'm going to wrap it up because I can go on and on about this topic. But I say all of that to say just love yourself. Love yourselves. Embrace who you are. Love your sister. Love your neighbor. Be a friend. Be a helper. Don't be negative. Don't bash. No one's greater. No one's better. One love. God bless. And peace be unto you. And I hope that we can find peace within all of this craziness, within all this madness. And regardless of what hair texture you have, what skin color you are, we can all come together and stop dividing and segregating one another and putting each other in these small boxes. We are bigger and better, and we are more than hair. And we are not our hair. Some people don't even have hair. So be grateful and love. Peace. God bless. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.